Try this again. So, we're now on episode 3, and I feel like I may have jinxed myself with episode 2, talking about how I've been feeling, pretty decent for the past month and a bit, because literally like maybe 48 hours after the last episode was uploaded, things kind of took a turn, and my mood over the weekend was pretty dramatically altered. I'll admit, I basically had a breakdown. It's been a while. I won't get into the details of what caused it because it's family related, but I think the biggest thing that was bugging me was the fact that I broke down in the first place. Because things had been going so well, like regardless of everything that's been happening in the country, I was feeling okay. And over the course of a weekend, like my mood just basically went woof, right down the fucking toilet. Thankfully, I've been feeling better as the days progress. I do have, a decent support system that helps lift me up when things are down. Like my wife, my friends,
oh my God,
my cats. So I'm on the mend, which is good. And I was really debating on whether or not to even record this week, but I told myself that I was going to do this every week, regardless. And I was very tempted to actually record this over the weekend whilst I was still in the depths of it. But I'm kind of glad that I waited a bit, because that's one of the things that I realized at an early age when it comes to expressing emotion or expressing what you're going through. Like, I had a diary and I would write songs and I'd write scripts. And of course, we all draw from personal experience and emotional experience. But especially from looking at my diary at the time, there's a huge difference between writing about what you're experiencing emotionally at the time, as opposed to writing it after you've given it some distance and you can look at it objectively. There have been times where, I've been in like the depths of depression because of maybe some girl breaking my heart. And, write songs and poems and scripts. And it's all very raw emotion with very little objectivity. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I find like when you give it that distance, where you still have those feelings, but you're distant enough to be able to look at it from a bunch of different angles, you tend to write something better or create something better because you've given yourself some time to understand what, let's say, the other party's point of view is, or what exactly was bugging you. But that's not the only thing that's been happening over the past week. Got my first dose of my vaccine, which is cool. Sinovac. I was kind of worried at first because I don't like needles, but that was a super thin needle, and side effects wise, it was a bit weird because I didn't get any fevers or anything like that. The muscle pain in the arm was kind of instant. A couple of minutes right after, I was like, what the hell is this? I don't know why I didn't think about it, but I got it jabbed on my left arm, like everyone else, except I'm left-handed. And I'm pretty sure that's why they put the jab on the left arm, because most people are right-handed, but I'm left-handed, so I was like, son of a bitch. The main weird thing with the side effects was dehydration. I drink a lot of water anyway. Drinking a lot of water just helps to keep a lot of bad shit out because you're just constantly flushing it. So I drink about 3 to 6 liters of mineral water a day. And yet I was still super thirsty, like super dehydrated. And I didn't know that it would do that. And right after the vaccination, like an hour or two, I was like, okay, I don't have a headache or anything. I don't feel feverish. So I'm going to record this VO job that I was assigned to. And my lips were very smacky and you could hear the throat just dry. And I'm just constantly chugging water. So there was that. And the other weird side effect was hunger. Hunger and gas. Well, gastric wind, whatever you want to call it. It was strange. I got back from my vaccine. I bought 2 Coney dogs from A&W. So I had one. I was going to save the other for dinner. 3 hours later, I'm hungry again. Ate the second Coney dog at around 4 o'clock. 6:30, had dinner with my wife. 9 o'clock, hungry again. 11 o'clock, I think I made myself a sandwich. 1 a.m., had some cereal. Like, I was just hungry. Ridiculously hungry. And that lasted for like 3-4 days. That one was weird because just constantly binge snacking. If I didn't, I'd either have a very bloated stomach or I'd be burping and farting a lot. So yeah, any of you guys that are gonna get Cinevac, like these are the side effects that I've been experiencing. What else? I've also been editing like old gig footage of mine to one of my old demos because I put out like my first ever demo that I used to get a band together on my YouTube channel. And this bunch of videos that I'm editing is for the demo we did as a band. It also made me realize how little footage I have of that band. I found only like 3 gigs and 1 recording session. So I've just been trying to cut those together so there's something visual to go with the music as I put them up. I know not a lot of people would dig it, especially because it's very raw, and especially this one that I'm gonna be putting up is very punk and rough, and my voice is everywhere and all I'm playing is everywhere, but it was fun. I'm just putting up all these old recordings anyway. I could just put it up with a title card, but like if you watch the last demo that I put up, like even with that one, I just wanted to do something a little bit different because I'm using those videos to try out different editing techniques that I've been curious about but never had a reason to use. That's one of the things I've always liked to do with, let's say, short films or stuff like that. Like whenever I want to try a new technique or a new software or a new plugin, I'd rather do it with something practical as opposed to just doing tests. So by having these demos, it's like, okay, how can I make this something visual as well? I know the music is not much, but let's see if I can do something with it visually. So yeah, that's not much else to talk about really this week. As you can imagine, with the way my mood swings have been, I have not been able to figure out much to talk about this week to begin with. We'll see if I figure out an opener and closer later, but yeah, this is the entire vlog for this episode. Sorry if it was boring. Sorry if all of them are boring, actually. As much as I find, the openings tricky, like the high, another vlog, and the cold opens tricky, the endings, like ending the episodes, it's tricky. Like, I don't know, maybe I should just end it like Magnum PI with the freeze frame and the executive producer credit. Who knows?